The Evolution of Technology from 1990 to 2014 by Allison Haste, Brian Kubel, and Neil Miller.
In 1990, the Hubble telescope was launched into space. Hubble telescope has been one of NASA's most successful and long-lasting projects. Scientists have gathered thousands of images of space from the telescope. 1991 marks the beginning of the Internet era with the invention of the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee. The Internet has revolutionized the way we communicate today, and it is hard to imagine our daily lives without the Internet. In 1993, Philip Sharp and Richard Roberts discovered split genes. Up until this point, scientists agreed that genes were held in continuous segments within DNA, but this discovery opened many doors for genetic and medical research. In 1994, the first spam email was sent out to 100,000 email accounts by Lawrence Cantor and Martha Siegel. Today, about 90% of all emails are spam. Nintendo 64 was released in April of 1996 and was ranked as the #1 gaming system of that time. Google was launched in 1997 and is still the most popular internet search engine today. 1998 marked a new generation of portable music with the release of the MP-Man, the first MP3 player. Now, music was available in an easy-to-download format which would eventually shape the entire music industry.
In 2000, the first hybrid car was produced by Toyota, the Prius. This invention is indicative of the major societal turn that took place around this time towards the green movement. Cars were one of the last major users of resources that have gone without a green option, but with the production of the Prius, this all changed. The iPod was invented in 2001 by Steve Jobs and the Apple Corporation. The iPod was much like an MP3 player, but included major upgrades stylistically and included the user-friendly scroll wheel that it became known for. The camera phone was invented in 2002 and was important not only for ease of users who no longer had to carry multiple electronics around, but it allowed for the creation of the selfie that became a huge symbol of our generation. It was also the inspiration for Beyoncé's single, Video Phone. The iTunes Music Store, invented in 2003, was the largest database for music and other media, and was groundbreaking in that it allowed users to purchase individual songs as opposed to entire albums. It was easy to use, fast, and legal, and changed the way that music would be listened to forever. The Nintendo Wii was invented in 2006 and revolutionized the way that video games were played. Before the Wii, video games were a technology that only young adult males utilized. After the Wii, families were able to play video games together. It opened a new outlet for the family unit to operate through. The iPhone was invented in 2007. iPhones revolutionized mobile phones because they were easy to use, entirely based on a touchscreen, and had a completely unique design that immediately made it the best-selling mobile phone to date. The iPhone was not only a phone, but a symbol of an entire generation.
With the incredible success of the original iPhone, Apple created the iPod Touch. This device could do almost everything as an iPhone, except for make phone calls. Apple considered this device to be a stepping stone to the iPhone and is still made today. Nintendo launched the Wii Fit for the popular Wii game console. This was a big step in the video game industry because now people could work up a sweat while playing video games, something that seemed contradictory in the past. The invention of Apple's App Store revolutionized iOS devices. People could customize their mobile devices however they wanted with games and other types of apps. Google eventually launched their own version, known today as the Play Store. Microsoft's revamp of Live Search brought the world a new search engine, Bing. This search engine focused more on custom-based search, including your Twitter and Facebook timelines. It has, and continues to be, Google's biggest search competitor. The launch of Barnes & Noble's Nook device started the e-reader craze across the country. Instead of carrying heavy books around with them all the time, they could consolidate them all and read them on a portable screen. The invention of the check-in occurred when the Foursquare app launched. The social check-in allowed businesses to know when people were visiting them or post specials for their patrons to use. Users of the app could share pictures of their places and share reviews as well. 3D TV was billed as the next big thing in the television industry. As 3D movies were becoming popular in theaters, they can now watch the same version of these movies in their living rooms. While the technology has been slow to launch, it expects to become more widespread in the future. The invention of the iPad created a new category in the technology world, the tablet. Bigger and more powerful than a smartphone, yet smaller and more portable than a laptop, the iPad soon became a wanted device in many people's lives. It quickly became the hottest selling tablet and remains so to this day. Many of the new technologies that were released in the past few years could only be used to their full potential in major metropolitan areas across the country, because that's where broadband internet was located. This changed though this year when rural broadband installations started occurring in more rural parts of the country. Facebook released its highly anticipated initial public offering in the stock market. This jump into the market was followed by other tech companies who eventually did the same, such as the company Zynga. The launch of the Square card reader revolutionized mobile payments. People could now turn their cell phones into card readers. This allows anyone from small businesses to large stores to avoid the checkout lanes and pay right away. The launch of the Samsung Galaxy S3 was the biggest challenger to Apple's iPhone yet. Sales of this phone were the largest among Android smartphones to date. It also made Samsung Apple's biggest competitor. The watch was the next everyday thing to be revolutionized. Smartwatches seem to be popping up everywhere, with features such as answering phone calls, mapping out runs, and reading tweets. This technology is new and continues to evolve. Google's computer glasses, known as Google Glass, were announced and are in beta testing. It will allow users to perform many smartphone and computer features just by looking through their computerized glasses. The public release for this product will be coming in late 2014. So in this presentation, we've talked about how technology has changed our lives in the past 20 years. And we've been discussing how we think technology is going to change in our generation and in the future for us. So I honestly think that technology is going to just impact our lives in more ways than we think it does right now. Like, I think there's going to be things in our life, in our future, that will involve technology that don't right now, such as like brushing your teeth or washing your face or just doing stuff like that. I think technology will be changing things that we think are fine now, but there's going to be an invention in the future where it'll change the way we do like regular everyday things, and we're going to think that that's going to be the way we need to do things like that. So what else do you guys think is going to be changed in the future?
I see a lot changing in the future to do with medical technology. Like, I see a cure for cancer and a cure for AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really think that that's possible in our future.
I think so. Yeah, that's a really good thought.
I think that Beyonce will be president one day. #Beyonce 2024. The end.